Hi!
Hello!
Welcome!
Hi! This is Film for Dummies.
By Film Dummies.
I'm Kristin.
I'm Rosalee.
Welcome! Yay.
So, this is our first episode ever.
Yay.
Yay.
And it's our Halloween episode.
It's our Halloween episode!
Yeah. Can you tell what we are?
Can you tell? I don't know.
Well, we're not going to tell you.
We're not going to tell you. But say it in the comments.
Yep.
If you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
For all those who celebrate, for all those who don't, I am sorry for your loss. We should probably introduce why we're qualified for this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We are first-year film majors, making us professional film dummies.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what we plan to do in this podcast is for you to learn as we learn.
Mm-hmm. We learn.
And for us to relay that information to you to better understand film in the way that any film dummy could understand.
And document our progress as we become better filmmakers.
Exactly. How's your day going, Kristin?
My day's really good. I napped today, and that was really good. How's your day?
My day is pretty good. We went to our film class.
Yes, we did.
And we had a critique, a 3-hour-long film critique,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is like too much, too long. So it was like a lot of nerve build up for like me trying to see my film and being like, oh god, it's gonna be bad and blah and yeah. But then nothing ever happened.
No, neither of us got played.
No. So that's really cool. That's really
cool.
awesome. And then I just went to my sex and power class. And we talked about a reading that I did not read. And that was really embarrassing because I got called out for that.
You did?
Real quick.
That's
yeah. Yeah, no. Because I said it and I think he heard me and he was looking right at me and he's like, let's separate into groups and we'll come up with what this means together. And by the way, you're going to stand and present. I'm like, oh god. But that's okay. We thought of doing this fun little thing.
Yeah, we did.
Song of the week.
And now it's Song of the Week.
Yeah.
Song
of the week. We should make a song for that.
We should.
Yes. Song of the week.
Song of the week. We'll do it at the same time. Okay, ready?
Okay, yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Song of the week.
Oh.
Should we do
Song of the week. No, I thought you were going down and I was going up.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Song of the week. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. So, Kristin, what's your song of the week?
I think my song of the week is, what's it called? King of Carrot Flowers Part 2 and 3, but just Part 2.
But just Part 2
by Milk Hotel. Milk Hotel?
Neutral Milk Hotel.
Neutral Milk
Yes,
Hotel.
yes.
It's stuck in my head.
It goes like this. Should we sing the first song?
Yeah.
Right. I love you, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, I love you. Yes, I do. And it keeps going like that. It's really crazy. Since neither of us are like very like devout Christians either. My song of the week, because everyone cares, is probably "Drive Me Crazy" by Lil Yachty.
What's that one?
It goes here. Wait, it goes. I would check it out. It's kind of like a really funky, like nice little. I don't know if I'd call it R&B, really.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know.
Just chill.
Yeah, but it's like a chill little like nice vibe, and I like it. And then Lil Yachty comes in with the harmony around like halfway point. That's my song of the week because I used it in my short film.
You did?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, I used it for like a party sequence. And I was like, yo, this song kind of hits. This song kind of hits.
This kind of slaps,
yeah,
bro.
This song kind of slaps. Wow. But yeah, like if you're ever, I don't know, being a film major or making a film or have as one does, or have like a Zoom mic or a shotgun mic, which are different microphones you can use for audio. I want you to get a shotgun mic that directs the audio. Put it at like one of your favorite songs and listen with some like good headphones. Oh my god. It's
good.
It's incredible, actually.
Do that right now.
Do that right now. Actually, we're gonna look at you while you do that. We're waiting.
I'm laughing. Okay.
At you. On today's episode.
To
be in the Halloween spirit, we are going to talk about our opinions on different kinds of horror movies and different horror movies in general, and like how we perceive it as beginner film majors.
Yeah.
How we think they could be better. How
we perceive them as just people watching that don't, especially like the horror genre. Do you like horror a lot?
I like. It really depends. That's the thing, because like the super the super tropey horror movies where it's like slasher films or like Chucky, I don't like those at all. Like I think they're really stupid.
I just think they're boring.
Also that. Otherwise, like I don't know. I like the sort of like psychological horror where it's more, where I feel like everyone said that. I like psychological horror where it's like you really have to decipher what's going on, or like it's more disturbing or like I like the type of horror where it feels disturbing because everything just seems a little off.
Yeah, where it's like an unseen horror.
Depending on like if they're using that with like different lenses for cameras to manipulate the picture you're seeing. Or if it's using where you place the camera to hide certain things throughout like what the audience is seeing, or if it's just like making the people in your film act like kind of weird, like creepy, but like not enough to be like, this person's a killer. Yeah. So I don't know.
So yeah.
Horror movies. Do you like horror movies?
I never could watch them because I get too scared. And recently I've been watching them with you guys, like our friends. And, it hasn't actually been too bad. Mainly because you just kind of make fun of them, which I'm down with.
Yeah, I really like making fun of them.
Yeah, which makes them less scary. And having multiple people in the room, I think, helps too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But, no, they're not my favorite. It's kind of just like, they never really have much plot. It's just like, get to the gore.
To get into some stuff about, like... let me get more comfortable. Let's get more comfortable.
Yeah.
To get if we're talking about like slasher films, right? Like let's talk about like Chucky and Friday the 13th.
We watched both
because we've seen both of them
recently.
Yeah, because my boyfriend, who we hang out with a lot in our friend group, he loves these movies.
Yes, he does. Both real big faces.
Yeah. Did you make a face?
Yes, I did.
We're like, love him, but like, fuck, I hate. I don't hate them. I just find them boring.
Yeah.
And kind of annoying because like, with slasher films, I always feel like it starts off like with some stupid teenagers that the audience isn't gonna connect with anyways. Where like every single time I'm watching, like one thing that we're learning about in film is finding a way to connect with your audience and finding a way to make the character like emotionally like support them or hate them, or like what makes that good of a character, right?
Where you're actually the audience is actually gonna care about the character.
Yeah, exactly. Where they're really invested,
involved. Yep.
Where with slasher films, every single character that's like the victim of these like sucks ass.
Yeah.
They're like the worst person ever.
Or they're like two-dimensional and just boring.
Exactly. Like they're always tropes. And they're always like stupid, like asshole teenagers. Like if it was just a stupid teenager, I'd care a little bit more. If it was just an asshole teenager who was actively like using their wits to try and escape the killer, I would care. But when you put them together, I'm like, not only am I not scared because how could you not see this coming?
Yeah.
Where that takes me out of it. But also, you suck as a person. So
also,
I don't
just kind of a dick.
It's fine if you want to do like some teenager tropes. But like, I don't understand how people get like so attached to these characters.
Yeah, when they're just like one thing. It's like, why?
Like one-dimensional.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's like, why even make like another movie where we've had like 20 of these?
Yeah.
You're just gonna make like the horny guy, the nerdy
the
guy.
Girl. Oh,
the fuckable girl. The jock.
The jock.
You know, the guy who likes music for some reason. The diversity cat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's always like that, like, friend group. And they're always, like, the worst. And we were talking with Dylan about this because he really likes them and we don't at all. And we were like, well, what draws you into it? And he was like, well, the reason that this, like, draws us in is because we want to sympathize with the killer. Where normally, like, with the killer, something really bad has happened in their past.
Like in Friday the 13th, the guy drowned.
We're back. Period.
We're back. The camera died. The camera died.
Yes. The camera battery died. So, but we remember what we were talking about. So that's good. He drowned, whatever. And then when he came back and he was killing, like, he decided to kill these teenagers that reminded him of the camp counselors that, like, left him to drown, he started killing them. But here's the thing, right? I don't really sympathize with that. Hot take. Hot take.
I don't like people killing.
Hot take. I would never, that's the sixth commandment you're breaking.
Is it the sixth?
I think so. That's what Charlie from Smiling Friends says.
Oh.
You can tell how Christian my family was. But yeah, like with all these killers, it's like I guess there's a reason that they're killing, or but I don't feel bad about that.
Well, because it's like, if he wanted to, he should have killed the people who killed him. But there's no point in killing people just because they're on a campground.
Yeah, also
why are you killing them?
Also because they're horny teenagers. Like, I feel like you should maybe, like, take them to court, fire them, like, put them on probation of some kind of, like, camp job for a while, you know? For, like, leaving a kid out to dry. Like, you know, I feel like there's some legal action we could do instead of, like, killing them as revenge. Jason from Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Guys, we're so sorry.
Every time we said Michael Myers, we meant Jason.
We meant Jason.
That's how you can tell we don't like
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, guys. But, like, but that doesn't change the fact it's bad.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Just because our ethos is bad doesn't mean that the movies are bad.
No, exactly. But it's just not it. Also, another thing, like, with these films that's for me is odd is like, whenever they have fake blood or, like, blood on screen, it looks so fake. Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's the coloration in post-production, like, when someone edits the film, if, like, the coloration or the filter they have that they put over the film to make it look cool is, like, off, because it always looks like red paint to me. Yeah. And it's bad. And I heard
maybe
that...
just because there's so much?
Maybe. I heard that there's, like, cow's blood. But if there's so much, it almost looks black. Blood does.
Exactly.
Like a maroon color.
Well,
so it's like
saying because they're using too much.
Oh, maybe. But, and it's like, dude, like, how to make, like, cheap-looking real blood, that's, like, it's cheap, you know? It's not even, you know, like, it's not even hard.
Or do something in post.
Yeah, if you're spending, like, thousands and thousands of dollars on this big blockbuster movie that's, you know, is a horror movie, or especially if it's a remake. Like, if it's the original, okay, I get it. Yeah. If you have, like, a $20,000 budget. But, like, still, you know what? No. Still. No. If you're doing a horror movie and people are, like, dying and there's gore and you have enough to hire actors, rent a camera crew, you know, rent a house out, you can rent some, like, actual fake blood. You can get cow's blood from a
just
butcher.
Cut the actors up and then sew them up later.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I agree.
We concur and believe this should be the future moving forward.
I thought you were going to say the forbidden truth.
Oh, that too.
We're Adam and Eve.
We're Adam and Eve.
I'm Adam.
I'm
from
Eve.
Saw.
Oh.
See that connection? Saw is another horror movie.
Ha ha.
But I like Saw. I like Saw 1.
I've never seen Saw.
Okay. Well,
that one I think would scare me.
Really? I mean, I don't know, because it's about these two guys. Mm-hmm. For those who haven't watched Saw 1, that's okay. It's about these two guys, Adam and Lawrence. And Saw is the horror franchise with Jigsaw. Jigsaw is a killer that traps people in his jigsaw traps as a challenge to get them out after he believes that they haven't, like, lived their life to the fullest or haven't appreciated their life.
So that part.
Yeah, so he makes them fight for his life. Yeah. So in Saw 1, it's Adam and Lawrence. There's these two guys locked in a bathroom, and through clues they have to get out, and their feet are like chained to the wall. So they either have to cut off their leg or find a key to get out. And I won't spoil it for those who haven't watched it. I mean, it was filmed 20 years ago, so maybe get with the program. But, you know, yeah, but like in the first maybe 2 minutes of the movie, Lawrence concludes that he says to Adam right away, oh, he wants us to saw our leg off. He wants us to saw our foot off. Where, like, you know, I think it's interesting where you have that impending doom of struggle or almost death overhanging the entire movie as they try and get out. Where it's still a movie where you can make fun of, but it's a lot better than, like, Chucky or Friday the 13th or Halloween. Mm-hmm. Where the characters there are just, like, really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, because they aren't even taken out of their element.
No, exactly. They're just kind of there.
Yeah.
They're there just so that the killer can kill them.
Yeah, no. They're in the forest so that the killer can kill them. Mm-hmm. In Halloween, she's, like, in her house, and the killer tries to kill her, and she never really leaves her house. She just stays running around in her house. What? Yeah. What? There are so many scenes. Like, I remember in Halloween, there was a scene where this girl, I don't remember their names. I'm gonna be so for real. Where this girl was laying in bed with her boyfriend, you know, and they just did the nasty. And he went down to get some food, you know. Spoiler alert, Michael kills him. And then he comes up to the room, like, with a sheet over him. And keep in mind, Michael Myers is, like, huge and 6'4". Yeah. Her boyfriend was not. He comes up with a sheet over his head, stares at her through the doorway, and she's just there going like, oh, you want round two? Oh, you want round two? It's obviously not your boyfriend. Yeah,
just use your eyes, maybe.
Get out of there. And then when he, like, attempts to kill her, she thinks it's, like, a teasing, like sexual thing. What? What? This is not making me root for you. Like,
even if it was a teasing sexual thing, get away.
No, exactly.
Like, he's gonna kill you.
Yeah, like, oh my god. Also, half of these movies don't use good, like, filming techniques at all.
Yes. Good segue.
Yeah, good segue. Where if it was, thank you. Where if it was, you
Mm-hmm.
filmed right, or had, like, good cinematography.
Cinematography. Like, thought behind it.
Yeah, some good, like, cinematic value, then I would think a lot differently about it. But a lot of times, you know, it's not shot well, the coloration is strange, and the way that these things are cut, or the amount of time we spend on these asshole friend characters is just way too much. Yes. Where, you know, there are amazing horror films that I have seen that I would highly recommend that use cinematography to make the movie scarier, rather than just focus on the character themselves.
It doesn't have to be the story that's making it scary. It's what you're visually seeing. It's the show not tell.
The show not tell.
That's a very good concept for you film dummies to learn.
Yeah, where basically what we've been learning is, instead of telling your audience something through dialogue or a character or a text, you know, on screen, you show it through the camera work. Where I know, for me, one of the reasons why I got into film, at least, we're gonna have to, like, really cut this down, but whatever.
That's okay.
One of the reasons I really got into film is looking at how camera work throughout film unconsciously affects the audience's view of something. Where an excellent horror movie that studies this is Silence of the Lambs. Now, I don't actually really like Silence of the Lambs.
I've never watched it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. However, they have amazing camera work in it. Where the first time, I think her name is Agent Lawrence. Let me look it up. Clarice. Where when Clarice first meets Hannibal, it's shown through the camera work where she walks up to his cell, talking to him about, like, all his killings and asking him if he'll help her solve these new murders. I think his name was, like, let me see, what is his name? Buffalo Bill. Where through the camera work you can see that she is unsteady in this because she is not centered in the frame. She's, like, right here. Using the rule of thirds, she's in 1/3 of the quadrant of the frame, where with extreme close-ups, so that's normally to use, like, emotion, right?
Where you focus on, like, the head, usually.
Exactly.
Or face, I guess. You'd be like this. The frame would be like that.
Yes.
That's all you would see.
Yes. Where Hannibal Lecter, the killer, is in the center of the frame with an extreme close-up. And this shows that he has the power over Clarice. And it's not until that she tells him, hey, I know what you did. Hey, I know how to get you out of this. Or whatever. Whatever motivates him. I forgot what it was. I'm sorry. But whatever motivates him, where then the framing switches. Where suddenly you see Hannibal Lecter, and he looks a little confused, a little shocked. Where he's no longer in power because he's a very intelligent character. Where then he's on the opposite side of the frame, where he moves out of the center, and then suddenly Clarice is in it.
That is very good.
Yeah. Where like just using that like cinematic level of just framing and camera work, you give your audience the unconscious idea that, oh, the power is switching. Oh, so this is what we're going to continue with.
And even, like, besides that, it just shows how much the director or, like, the cinematographer cares for the movie.
Yeah.
That they're thinking about every single shot that they do.
Yeah.
They're not just doing it to get through it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Which shows the passion, shows through, and that makes you passionate about it.
Exactly. And that's why we're doing this, like, honestly.
Yeah.
Where I'm a very big camera work guy, so, you know, I pay attention to that. Where it almost feels like with a lot of slasher films, I kind of get angry because I'm like, this isn't a good story. These aren't good characters. The camera work is shit. So
the blood's not good.
So why did they get thousands and thousands of dollars to produce something that's shit?
Yeah.
Why not give it to another filmmaker who can make something even better?
Exactly.
Instead of making, I don't know, Chucky 12. Like, another cult classic film that we can talk about is, you watched a little bit of this, The Shining, where it's really cool, because don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that in The Shining, they used their own, like, they made their own camera lens, where, you know, camera lens, blah, blah, blah.
That's the big part.
Exactly. They made their own camera lens for the film to not only make the hotel that they are shooting in. Well, let's talk about what The Shining is.
Yes,
yes. The Shining.
If you don't know.
Yeah. Let me.
That's a good one. We like that one.
We like that one. The Shining is a film based off of the book The Shining by Stephen King. Stephen King. Not Stephen. It's spelled like Stephen, but it's Stephen. I hate it. Stephen King, about this man, Jack, who is a writer, going up to this hotel in for the winter to take care of it while he gets a chance to write, and he takes his wife and his little boy with him. Now, in The Shining, but then afterwards he starts to go crazy based off of a curse that is in the hotel, and he ends up killing everyone. Spoiler alert. So in this movie, they decided to use the ideas and motifs of isolation and loneliness to make that more terrifying, of feeling trapped in this huge hotel with a man who you can tell is going very downhill mentally and going to kill everyone, by making this lens that sort of makes if this is real life, it kind of goes like that. Where it's like...
Makes everything look big, or longer and farther away.
Yes, exactly. Where it's sort of like a reverse fisheye lens, from what I can remember. Where not only did it distort the hotel, but it distorted everyone's faces throughout the movie. Where, you know, humans are really good at recognizing each other's faces, but also the flaws in them. Which is one of the reasons why analog horror is so terrifying. Because you can see, if something is, like, misshapen, it's gross and terrifying, because we know it's not right.
Yes.
Where, with this, you can tell something's not right, but it's such a small detail that you can't pick up on right away, that it just makes the whole film uncanny the whole time. And the acting in it is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah. Shelley Duvall. Peak actress. Where that makes it terrifying. And then, because of that, the camera work just amplifies the story and the acting more. Exactly. Well, that's a good film.
It's not like they're not just relying on the acting or on the gore or on the background of the killer. They got everything together.
Exactly. Exactly.
And the camera work is just also showing it. It's not just there. You're not just there. You're not along for the ride as the viewer. You are in the story, which is what you want.
Yeah, you want to be immersed in it instead of being like, what the fuck is this shit? Where half the time that's what I see.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, you guys, if you like slasher films, no hate to you. You know, this is just very much our opinions, which are very much the same opinion, so we can just, like, bounce off of each other and be like, yeah, I hate it, no.
With our mouth, our little pitchforks.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, I really, being film majors, like, seeing these things and working through these things is very inspiring to us.
Yes.
Obviously.
We'd like to talk about why films didn't work, so we know what to do in our own film.
Exactly. And why films do work, so we know what to do in our own films. Especially, like, seeing how creative filmmakers and directors really can be. Where, like, a slasher film, it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. Another, like, sort of found footage film is actually The Visit, like I was talking about. The Visit is about these two kids who are 13 and 15 years old, brother and sister, who go to visit their grandparents for a week. But they've never met them before because something happened with their mom and their grandparents' relationship where, you know, they had no contact. So this is the first time they're ever meeting them. And, you know, because of that, there's a twist. And basically the whole time, the oldest kid, the 15-year-old, the sister, what's her name? I don't know. Becca. She is an aspiring videographer where basically she has her camera the whole time for the visit, and she's like, I'm going to make a documentary about this to get my mom forgiveness and show her the perspective of my grandparents. So she films their entire visit, and throughout the whole thing, you can see her and her brother talk about how weird and strange their grandparents start acting, and how strange they get throughout the film, where there's a big twist at the end that I won't spoil because it's really good. Where another thing with camera work is not only is this like a found footage thing that really immerses us in the world, it's almost like playing a horror video game, in a way. But once she's away from the camera, then it goes back to your classic filmmaker thing, where she has the camera, she's editing. You can see her editing the documentary throughout the entire thing, which is really cool as someone who is doing film. It's like oh my god, it's me.
True.
Yeah, where it goes back to like the professional camera work, to make the story more linear, where they really use motifs of like the house and a frame in frame, which is basically like a frame within the frame that you see of a camera.
Frame in frame, which is a frame in a frame.
Like
a mirror.
That's a frame in a frame.
This is a frame in a frame.
A frame in a frame.
A frame in a frame.
But that's a frame in a frame.
In a frame.
In a frame.
A frame?
Where, yeah. It's basically...
But is there a frame?
In the frame.
In the frame.
In the frame. Where it's like anytime you see a mirror or something like that or like a rear view and someone's in it, that's a frame in a frame. So they use a lot of motifs like that. They use a lot of doorways, and like archways where you can't really see the characters like walking around necessarily, but like if they're here, the character will walk here and you don't understand what's happening until they walk back. And they have very long shots to build the tension and build the suspense of what's happening, where you as a viewer kind of follow along with the kid's perspective, where you don't know what's happening with these two people. You don't know if they're crazy or they're just old and like losing their minds because they're old, where you kind of figure it out with the kids. But they also set up cameras throughout the house to show the grandparents acting weird.
Wait, the kids set up the cameras? Oh, okay.
So it's like, you're not seeing it sometimes, and then the kids are, or you're seeing it first, and then the kids just have to find it, where the whole time I was just like, get out of there, get out! And another thing that helps is that the characters are all very likable. They're very intelligent kids, and they're very passionate and ambitious children for what they want to do, and very empathetic.
Yes.
So it makes me want to root for them.
Yes. Well, to go back and contrast with a good movie versus a bad movie, I mean, like you said, you're learning with the kids what's going on. You don't know what's going on. Whereas in a movie like Friday the 13th, we know that Jason's bad the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a given because he's killing people. So there's no mystery to find. There's nothing that we are finding out. Exactly. It's just like everything's laid out in the beginning, and the whole thing is just what's been laid out, whereas in
The Visit.
I forgot the name.
No,
in The Visit, you know, you're progressively learning. You can't just stop halfway through because you don't know what's going to happen, so you want to keep watching.
Exactly. Where, like, using the cinematic elements and using those characters is, like, one thing, but when you also, you know, like we were saying, use the camera work and use the editing, where using long shots and then using short shots and then making sure we see stuff that we want to or don't, is technically what makes a good movie. And, you know, it's very much like a movie that you can tell someone wanted to make without just a movie someone made because, you know, it's famous already.
Yeah,
like,
or they wanted money.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they knew it would just get popular because it would.
Yeah, because of the name already. The million Chucky movies. Yeah, where they really use those technical skills throughout the movie. Where, you know, especially with just, like, you can use, like I was saying, you can use walls to hide characters to kind of make you feel, whenever there's, like, an archway or whatever, and, like, let's say you're in this room, right? And then there's an archway, and then this is a room, and the character, like, walks in between. That's to keep the audience outside. So it's to keep them out, away from what's in their world. Where, because of just how this old house is, which, you know, old architecture, they have a lot of archways, a lot of, like, they weren't very open concept yet, where when you see the kids walking around and back, and then the grandparents walking back, it's like, you are too far away. Where, because you've already been so immersed with this found footage, and with the kids, and with the kids' stories, and are very much rooting for them, when they are in that position of the other room, away from the audience, or, like, the grandparents are away from the other room, it makes you even more terrified, because as a viewer, you feel helpless. Where I love. That's, like, chilling. I love when I feel helpless in a movie. Like, whether you like slashers, footage films, just, like, some weird experimental films, horror of the horror genre. Tell us about it. Tell us down below. You know, your opinion, no matter what, is valid. Even though we hate slasher films, if you like them, that's cool too.
Yeah, but all we're saying is maybe next time you want to go watch a slasher film, think about looking at a less popular one that might be better. No, but that you might find that you really enjoy that kind of thing, and maybe you're like, wow, this looks so much cooler and makes me feel scared or more scared, whatever. We're gonna put our recommendations here.
And here.
And here.
And here.
And here.
And there.
And there.
And maybe there.
How many recommendations do we have?
I don't know.
Well, there's one there.
And then there's one there.
Jeez.
Maybe. I don't know if that's off screen. If it's not, it's coming down right now. We're gonna go trick-or-treating. We're gonna go eat some candy.
Make some slime.
Make some slime, watch some horror movies. And enjoy being dressed as... Should we give them the big reveal? The drum roll? Raven
and Trigon!
From Teen Titans.
Go or just Teen Titans?
Both. But, yeah. This episode.
Yay.
I hope you come back next week.
We'll post on Thursdays.
Yes, we're going to be talking about guerrilla filming. If you don't know what that is.
Guerrilla filmmaking.
Guerrilla filmmaking.
Or is it guerrilla filming?
It's both.
Both. Yay.
If you don't know what that is,
don't look it up.
Come back next week. Wait till next week for us to explain it. No, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And if you don't want to watch again, sorry.
Yeah. Then leave.
That makes us sad.
That makes us really sad.
Can we
We're
understand?
gonna go cry.
Go check out another channel.
I don't understand.
Oh.
You might.
Happy Halloween! We will see you next week.
Bye! I love you, Jesus Christ.